how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Airport CEO and welcome back to Belfast International Airport. Things are going pretty well at the moment. I definitely can't complain. We're making money. We have helicopters, we have small aircraft, we have medium aircraft. We don't have large aircraft. We're probably not going to for a little while, but that's okay because today I want to get more medium aircraft because they make pretty good money and we need a lot of money if we want to get the big aircraft. Now, obviously, in the last episode, we talked about whether or not we were going to put another runway in here, and I think I'm going to, because I think if we get 2 more of these medium aircraft stands, we will have enough medium aircraft coming through that having a dedicated medium runway for those planes is going to be a good thing, and we can send all of the smaller planes up to a smaller runway. You might be wondering, by the way, why there's so few aircraft at the airport right now. That's because there was a thing that happened. While I was letting the game sort of tick by and do its thing, there was an event. One of those random sort of world events happened. It was a volcanic eruption that lasted about 12 hours. All flights were canceled. Any flights here were grounded. Any flights coming in were canceled. Basically, everything came to a stop. And then the flight planner is slowly sort of countering that. So we have a lot of helicopters coming in today. Tomorrow, we have 120 flights. We have so many helicopters coming and going. We have so many flights coming and going. This was actually, in a weird way, sort of a good thing, because what's happened is it's allowed the flight planner to sort of restructure things a little bit. So the airport is going to get super busy. We are probably going to make a ton of money. And so what I would like to do is take a moment to rebuild our air traffic control tower, because it's going to need to move out of this space because we are going to be building a new runway up there. And I think the air traffic control tower honestly could go, I want to say down here is where I'm thinking for it. So we're going to build it right there. I'm going to take those fences out of this space as well, because we don't really need those right now. We will probably want them at some point, but just for now, we'll take those guys out and see how everything goes. And then I guess we take this fence away as well, because this is where we're going to be putting some of those new medium aircraft stands. My thinking for these is that I'm going to try and have them be remote. I'm not too sure how well that's going to go, but I'm going to try and have them be remote. So one of them's going to go here at $75,000. One of them's going to go here at $75,000. We can get them connected to the taxiway, and then some way, somehow, I need to bring everything around. I've also realized that the way I've done this, it lines up the taxiways. It doesn't line up the stands. And I think I want to cancel the stands before they get built, because I kind of want that money back, because I kind of want them to be symmetrical. So the stands are actually going to go here, which lines up the stands, but not the taxiways, and here, which again lines up the stands, but not the taxiways. And that's probably fine. That's probably not the end of the world for this layout. We are obviously going to need some service roads coming around this way as well, so we'll get that in there. And then some way, somehow, we're going to have to figure out how to connect these guys and make them remote, which, in all honesty, we could probably build a little facility down here that allows for that. We could potentially use these stands over here if we wanted to, which might be kind of busy. I'm going to figure that out shortly, because while this is going on, I also want to make some changes to our helicopter terminal, because we have got the ability to have some medium helicopters in here. And so my thinking was that a medium helicopter stand is the size of 2 of the smaller stands. So we could go in here and take those guys out and then put 2 medium helicopter stands down here at the bottom with 1 new small helicopter stand just up here. That's going to mean we have to extend this terminal, which honestly I'm completely fine with. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take all of these guys out. We're going to take all of this out. This is obviously going to cause some problems for what we have going on here. I am going to need to basically go and cancel any flights coming into some of these stands. I need this helicopter to go away nice and quickly so that I can go ahead and close that stand as well, which apparently I can't do. There we go. And then I just need to go in and bulldoze these guys as well. It's a little bit of a shame doing this because obviously we did just build all of this, but I think getting some medium helicopters in here is going to be kind of cool. So I'm sort of willing to make this change because I think it's going to be worth it. So we'll put a small stand right there. These guys are obviously very quickly going away. Medium helicopter stands, by the way, $75,000. So we have some decent money at the moment, but we're pretty much instantly just spending it all is what we're doing. We're also going to want to go in and take out essentially this entire section of wall here. I'm going to take out these little boarding gates as well. And then we replace all of it. We put some doors in there. We put some new windows in there. And obviously we need to extend the terminal here as well, so that we have a little boarding area for these guys down here at the bottom. We can also do another bathroom, which reminds me, this one needs to be opened, and then everything should be good. We'll get more money from this. We'll get more money from these guys. We are 100% gonna want to put some fences around all of this as well. So let's bring this down to here and across to about there. We'll take all of this out, and I guess we could go about here and bring this guy down to about that spot as well, which should be totally fine. We'll take out that little bit of excess, and that'll stop animals from getting in here and causing all sorts of problems. Also, some of you probably just watched me place this and saw immediately what I did. I put a small aircraft stand in here instead of a helicopter stand. We're fixing that. Don't worry. I just need this to be demolished, and then we're good. We'll just get rid of this and replace it. Everything's fine. And there we go. So this stand is now up and running. It has commercial flights, which is fantastic. It has two little boarding things down here, which is also fantastic. We probably just need one, to be completely honest with you. And it has some seating, which is also fantastic. These guys down here, we're going to connect out to this stand, and we're going to connect you out to this stand as well. And they are both going to be set up to allow for some medium helicopters, hopefully in the not too distant future. They are all connected to their baggage bays. They're connected to everything. So baggage handling is sorted out. Seating is sorted out. Basically everything for the helicopters is sorted out. And this is pretty much it. This is about it. We will probably end up revisiting the helicopter idea at some point in the not too distant future, because this is probably not the most optimal layout that we could do. But for now, I'm kind of thinking this is probably just fine for the helicopters. I am excited for some medium helicopters to come in here, but we'll check back on all of this in just a little bit, because I think I'm gonna take a risk, and I'm going to see about setting these guys up as remote stands. That's kind of my thinking here. I'm not 100% sure that it's a good idea. In fact, I'm fairly sure it isn't, but we're gonna connect this guy, which apparently I can't do. That's slightly annoying. Can I clear the stand from you? I absolutely can. I want to connect you out to this stand, and I really deeply might regret doing that, but I'm going to. And I'm going to do the same thing up here, because some of these guys, these smaller flights really don't need two boarding desks. So we're going to do the same thing, connecting you out to this stand, which makes both of those remote, which is great. All I realistically need to do now is connect to a service car stop, which I think is going to be this guy, and connect you to a service car stop right about there, which is completely fine. And then connect them down to a baggage bay, which is possible for both of these. So we'll go to the first one here. And then for you, I'm hoping I can go to, that was not what I wanted to do, connect you back to the service car and bring you down to this guy as well, which is fine. Now I would like to check whether or not this thing's okay. So this now has as many connections as it can have. This one has a bit more room, and this guy is getting there as well. So we still have plenty of room on the other baggage stands, but these guys are pretty much good to go, which is great. The only thing we're maybe gonna want to do here is get some stair trucks. Now I think we have one, if I'm not mistaken, because we did have to buy one at some point. Yeah, we have one, which I'm going to put down here. And then I want to go and purchase another stair truck, which is all right. And I'm kind of wondering whether or not we need small hauler belt loader trucks as well. We also want some pushback trucks. I guess we'll grab two of those. We're going to want more service cars for sure. So I'm going to grab two of those, and I'm going to want more shuttle buses as well. So we'll get two of those. Now, with all these guys coming in here, in fact, you know what I also want to do? I want to get more baggage handling vehicles just while we're here. Let me get 2 of these guys, and we're going to try and assign everything to these remote stands to make them as quick as they can possibly be. So we have some stuff coming in here. That's going to be our service car, which is fine. That's another service car coming through there. That is a stair truck. Now you are going to be assigned here, which is great. And if we go to my vehicles overview, this one's now assigned, that one's now assigned. Assign that one to the top. So they are both assigned to a medium stand, which is great. This is an airport shuttle. It's not one of my buses though, which is completely fine. I just need to keep an eye out to make sure that everything gets assigned properly. So you go to the bottom there. I could do this a little more efficiently, but I'm just going to do it this way because I can see them as they come in, which is perfect for me. So now we have our little baggage trucks. Let's get you assigned to the bottom, and let's get the other one, which is hopefully not going to be too far away. Is that one of my buses? That is one of my buses. Okay. Let's get you assigned to the bottom as well. I'm missing a baggage truck, I think. But you know what? That's totally fine. I think that's it right there. So assign it to the top. I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure that's everything. Unless, well, no, we didn't get the belt loaders, did we? Or did I? Did I buy them? I've already forgotten what I purchased. I don't know if I got the belt loaders. I don't think I did. So we'll go in, we'll order... I'm going to get 4 of the belt loaders so we can put them on all of the medium aircraft stands. That seems like it makes sense. Also, I think these guys are waiting on flights, which is, I need to find out. Are we waiting on flights in those medium aircraft stands? We absolutely are. Oh boy. That was a very quick turnaround on the auto planner right there. Good Lord. So here's what I'm thinking for all of the vehicles on these stands. I want to paint them all that same shade of blue that we use for our buses, just because I think it looks cool. I did like the red on the pushback trucks. I'll be honest, it was kind of cool, but I think this is fine. I think getting all those guys in blue is going to be pretty good. We have no need for buses or for stair trucks on these stands over here, which is great. And we should, if I hit the right button, we should have an aircraft landing very soon for one of these remote stands. It's going to be the Olympus Air Flight, which is not this one. It's presumably going to be the next big flight that comes in here, which again, we still don't have a second runway. So I'm really, this isn't going to be efficient right now, but there it is. That I think, is that an Olympus flight? I really have no idea. That's going to be going somewhere though. And it's not going to a remote. There it is. Oh boy. So everything comes around, which is great. The bus is trying to figure out where to go, and the passengers are being loaded into the bus, which is great. So it's good that we only need one bus. That's that's definitely a good thing. I'm curious to see how long that bus is going to take to unload everybody. There's also not enough seating in here, I don't think. And this might cause some problems. We might have some delays with only the one service car stop, and there's already another bus trying to get in here. I kind of knew this was going to happen, to be perfectly honest. I kind of had a feeling this was how this was going to go, especially with how slowly they are loading out into that bus. Oh, that's bad. They are, wait, where were they going? Oh, they're going somewhere else. Okay, yeah, we need a much better setup for this thing. That is not good. That is not good at all. We haven't even started boarding yet. Yeah, this is so slow. I knew it kind of would be. To be fair, I had a feeling this wouldn't be very efficient. I didn't think it would be this inefficient though, which is the problem. This is kind of terrible. Let me try a little something here. Let me get myself another. Wait, no, I can't put more. If I put more boarding gates in here, I block the doors. Oh, I really hoped I could get away with this. I really, really hoped I could get away with this. That's deeply unfortunate. Those queues are huge. Okay. I want to say it would be quicker to have some people actually manning those doors. I feel like that would genuinely be a faster process. I also feel like we might genuinely need to look into expanding the seating area, So I don't know how I'm going to do that. That's really, man, it was stupid of me to think this would work, but there is a part of me that's disappointed that it doesn't. I guess what we can do is extend the terminal down here a little bit, or at least a lot, potentially. I might have to move the air traffic control tower again, which will be deeply unfortunate. But we're going to come down to here is what we're going to do. I'm also going to bulldoze this bit of road because we just don't need it anymore. I can put a sidewalk in there. We are going to be dealing with some weird little corner shenanigans going on there, which I don't necessarily love, but this is at least going to give me space. The service cars might be a problem, but this is at least going to give me space for, I suppose, a few more airside shuttle bus stops. So 1 and 2, and we can move our entire setup down here for the medium flights. Now, this is not going to be enough space for everybody that's waiting for a medium flight, which is less than ideal, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. I think what I'm also going to do is just one large door right in the middle of those two stands, which is something we've never really done before. And we'll see if I can get, how do I want to do these boarding desks? How do I want to do these boarding desks? I do feel like the medium one, it's way too big. I was going to say the medium one might be good, but that's way too big. That is absolutely enormous. Genuinely absolutely enormous. We could do the smaller one, but at that point we might as well just do this guy. I kind of have an idea. Let's make all of this nice and secure, and then let's go in with, I want to say 3 self-boarding gates, 1 2 3 and 1 2 3, and I want to do some hedges just to sort of, you know, give them a little bit of an enclosure there, so it kind of goes that way, I suppose, and that way. And then basically just seating. So 3 gates per bus and per stand. And we hope for the best. I'm just going to turn off, I'm going to dismiss these aircraft because they've been here for so long that no one's getting on board. The entire airport is backing up because no one's getting out to the other remote stands either. Essentially, I can't even close this because the other plane's already on the way. I want to close these stands. We're going to try and reconnect them, and we're going to see what we can do. I mean, this is the problem. This flight immediately came down here. I need both of them just to leave. Just get out of here, go away. You can come back later. Do what you got. Is there seriously another? That's how bad these delays are. There's another plane already on the way to this stand. It's probably going to be this guy. It is not, which is great. That's not good, man. We really need another runway as well. There's so many medium flights coming now, which is good. It's a good problem to have. It's a good thing we're making money as well. That's kind of where I'm at. This would be a lot worse if I was broke, which is kind of it's kind of life in general, you know? It's, yeah, anyway, we'll get those. Let's not go into that. We could get really deep and depressing about it. You know what? Let's put some nice blue carpet in there. That's fun. Now, just to be clear, what I have done is reconnect these stands to the original smaller remote stands. And now what I'd like to do is connect these guys to here and then out to this top stand. And then these 3, if we shift click, which by the way, I did see a comment talking about the ability to shift click on things to connect them all at once. I think I remembered that I could do that before I saw the comment, but I wanted to point out that I have seen it and I do appreciate you because I very nearly did forget that was a thing. The good news though, is that with this all done, we should now be able to handle these flights a little bit better. We should have fewer issues is the hope. Now, what I am going to do is go in here and just copy and paste a bunch of seating here. This is going to be quite narrow, but I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of not too worried about that. I just need a ton of seating in here. That's kind of where we're at. So if we can get a ton of seating in here, which it looks like we can't, unfortunately, we can hopefully deal with all these passengers that are going to be coming through. So we'll do a little something down here like this, which I guess is fine. And we'll do something a little bit smaller up here. I guess we could do, what do I want to do here? Let's do this and this. because that seems kind of cool. You walk down here, you're getting judged by everyone that's sitting here. You're kind of trying to get your, you know what the worst thing is about airports? And yeah, buckle up. We're about to go into a bit of a rant about this. Do you want to know something that really annoys me about airports? How close, and I understand why they do it. They have a lot of people coming and going, but how close together, like look at the amount of space I'm leaving between these chairs, right? This is comfortable. This is fine. I can sort of stretch my legs out a little bit, but not, you know, my legs come out to here, their legs come out to here. There's room in the middle for someone to get down between without having to move their, like me having to move my legs, them trying to get around me. I can get comfortable without interrupting the flow of traffic, right? This right here. Also, just to be clear, I don't do this. My bag is like on my knee, right? If I'm plus, to be fair, if I'm bringing bags through the airport, it's a backpack, so it's on my knee. It is out of the way. I am not blocking the rite of passage of anybody else. This is the worst thing. Like if you've got one of those suitcases that you're wheeling along behind you, it's your carry-on, and you're like trying to get through here, the amount of people that are completely oblivious to your existence is infuriating, because you're trying to walk down and you're like, oh, so sorry, excuse me, coming through. Oh, so sorry, thank you, sorry, coming through, excuse me, because they're, you know, they've got their headphones on. Like it's just the lack of like situational spatial awareness of people in airports is infuriating. I'm just saying, and I know it's not just me. I'm not going to be like, does anybody else? It's just like, I understand it. I do it. I sit in my chair and I look at my phone. I'm watching Reacher, or I'm watching not House of the Dragon. What's the other one? The Lord of the Rings of Power. That one. I get it. You're watching something, but can you not see the pair of legs and the suitcase that's like in your peripheral vision trying to get past your legs and your enormous suitcase that we all know is actually too big to be a carry-on, but you've booked an airline that doesn't really care about that? Oh, hello. That's a big helicopter. Oh yeah, I forgot we had these. That's nice. I'm glad this is working. Yeah, anyway. Oh God, I needed that. It's been a minute since I've had a proper rant about an airport. That felt good. That was, I enjoyed that. really thoroughly enjoyed that. That was a good rant. That was needed. That was from the heart as well. I just want you to know that was I don't know if you can tell, but that was from the heart. Anyway, you might be wondering what I'm building down here. This is going to be a big old bathroom is what it's going to be, because we probably do want to get a big old bathroom into this space. So we're just going to do an absolute mountain of toilets here, and a whole bunch of toilets over this way as well. We can do a bunch of sinks down this wall, I suppose. I don't know why I'm so confused about doing sinks on that wall, but yep. We'll go for that. And then I want to put a wall right here and right here, because that's going to be a pretty good looking little bathroom. We'll get some tiles in there as we usually do. We'll get this thing opened up as quickly as we can. I think it's already going to be a secure zone, which is great. And I do need to go in and replace these chairs, because I did have to take those out, especially those ones in the middle, which we can kind of just do this sort of thing with. I'm also going to put more chairs there, because I just know that we don't have enough. Like, I really, really know we do not have enough chairs in here. That's objectively just a fact. So we'll see how this goes. We do have a bus coming through here and stopping at this spot, which is great. Everybody's hopping off the bus, which I love. Then the bus is going back. Not 100% sure why. Is there anyone on the bus? There is not. Have we started boarding here? We have not. Okay. I would assume we're going to start boarding at some point. I would hope we're going to start boarding at some point. And then we can see if this is effective or not. We have some people standing around because there's nowhere to sit. That's just great. That's just fantastic. I don't know what bus is going to be dealing with this shuttle bus stop right here, but I'm really, oh, it's going to be that same one. Okay. Oh, so it just comes back. That's fine. So people are queuing up. They seem to be getting through Well, I mean, they're getting through quicker than they did when we had it all up here. So that's at least a good thing. It's still not super quick, but it's definitely quicker than it was. What stand is this? This is medium aircraft stand 19. So stand 19 is here. It's due to take off at 3:40. Okay. It's a little delayed. It's 3:40 now and people are only boarding. The next flight coming in is due to land at 4:25. So I don't love that that's a little delayed, but if it gets out of here on time, I guess that's okay. Which it seems to be. It seems like it's leaving, so sure. We'll not worry too much about that. I think we're okay. And I think we've kind of solved our issue here. This is still less than ideal, but it's kind of working, so sure. This is this is the solution, and this is how I'm getting more money into the airport, I guess. I would like to put some windows in here though. I think some windows along this wall would look a little bit better than what we have right now, which is obviously none. And it'll just brighten the place up a little bit, you know? It'll just make it a little bit more effective. This is a really awful little extension of the airport. I don't like it, but I think it was necessary. We really needed to get more medium aircraft in here. We have also just passed $1 million. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Let me go in here and start demolishing these stands, because I think it's time that we try to get another runway. We have the money to do it. We also need to get rid of this air traffic control tower, because having 2 of them doesn't let you have, 400 flights. It doesn't work that way. So we'll take all of this out as well. We'll get rid of this hangar because we don't really need it. So turn that off. How did we have dangerous baggage loaded on? You know what? Doesn't matter. We're not gonna think about it, is what we're gonna do. We're just not gonna think about it. Now, you know what I think might be a really good idea? I think it might be worth moving these remote stands, and I'm reluctant to do that because I don't know how I'm gonna do that just yet. I haven't really figured that part out, but I think moving those remote stands down to this space would be good, because it would probably let the planes kind of flow around better. They could land like up here because the runway is going to go this way from right to left. So they'd land, they would taxi off the runway, cross straight over this one, and then down into like a remote area down here. That is so far out of the way, but I genuinely think it might be the best way to do this. And it might be the best place to... Oh, I think we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to do I mean, again, a lot of this is probably gonna get demolished at some point because it's really not an efficient way to do it. But I'm trying to kind of like gradually change this airport. I'm trying to sort of procedurally make things better. So that's the plan anyway. I'm also realizing I could potentially set this up in such a way that the planes aren't necessarily gonna be overlapping each other. I think I would have to move the medium runway up to the top though to do that. And I've talked about that before. I've kind of wanted to bulldoze this one, put it up here and kind of move everything around. But if I did that, it would mean that the large aircraft could taxi the whole way down. The small ones would taxi in this way. Man, I might be about to do a whole lot more than I need to do here, but we're gonna give this a shot. I'm also gonna start changing out the taxiway foundations, which is gonna start by sorting out this runway and converting the runway ramps, because I think it's overdue that we get the taxiways sorted out. So let's do this. Let's do a little 5x5 here. And then I guess we need 5 little stands is what we need. So we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is fine. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them up there. We can bring the taxiway down to all of these guys, which is certainly going to be the plan. And then obviously get it all connected together as well. And I guess, I mean, I said I wasn't sure about doing this, but I'm pretty much committing to the idea at this stage, which is terrifying. I'm also keenly aware that I should probably move them down by 2, because I could bring this road straight through and connect it here perfectly, which I think would look better. And I know looks don't really matter, but I'm going to do that because then I can do this. We can have a road tunnel that goes underground. It is going to connect to this guy over here, which is great. I also want to just make sure that there is in fact going to be a service road tunnel. Pretty sure that's a service road tunnel that I've built there. And I'm pretty sure I've connected to a service road. I think that's all going to connect together fine, which will be good. And then, yeah, these guys are going to be our new remote stands. They're way out of the way, but I want to say that's probably fine, is my thinking. Now, what we're going to have to do is basically cancel all of the flights coming to these stands, which is going to be a bit of a pain to do. But I'm hoping this is worth it. I'm hoping I'm doing the right thing here. I really, really do. I also want to dismiss all of these aircraft because I kind of need all of them to leave. This guy, whatever plane is there, needs to be dismissed. This one needs to be closed as well. You need to leave, but you're going to be delayed because the planes are taking up the space. Basically, we're just moving it all around is what we're doing. This bus, for example, is going to go there, which is good for him. That bus can now live down on that stand, which is not currently possible because the roads and the tunnel need to be built. But once they're built, which they are, that bus can go live down there. And then I guess we just go through and set these guys to be demolished, which is a bit of a shame to do, in all honesty. I don't love doing that, but it does mean I can get rid of these roads here as well, which seems like a worthwhile thing to do. Weirdly, these buses don't seem to want to move, so I'm just going to sell them, which seems to have freed them up all of a sudden, which is annoying, but I can just buy more. It's totally fine. We'll go purchase another pair of airside shuttle buses. Once they get in here, we'll get them painted and then assigned to where they need to go, which should be totally fine. And then we just need to go around and reconnect all of the remote stand services to these new stands over here, which we're going to want to set up as commercial. They are currently general aviation, which is something we don't need anymore and something we don't want anymore. So let's get you assigned to that fourth stand right there. And let's get you assigned to that first stand right there. And then basically we just go ahead and say that, you know, general aviation is not going to be a thing. Switch it over to commercial. I kind of want to dismiss these aircraft because we don't really need them or want them here. So you can go ahead and leave. Thank you very much. We're not interested in GA flights here at the moment. You can go ahead and do the same. We're not interested in GA flights right now, which apparently I can't swap that over because man, if there is one system in this game that I really genuinely cannot stand, it is the fact that you can't switch a stand over to be commercial until the flight, like you have an inbound flight. Because here's the thing, right? We have enough traffic on this runway that it's quite busy a lot of the time. It's busy a lot. And what happens is you sit for 5-10 minutes at a time waiting for a flight to land just so you can send it away again. Like all of these stands that I want to switch over, I can't do it because there's a flight waiting to land. Just let me switch it. I know I'm asking for, I mean, look, it's not going to happen. The game's not going to be updated now to let me do this, but just let me. Just if there's ever an Airport CEO 2, which I hope so, man. I love this game. I really do. I would love an Airport CEO 2. I really, really would. If there is, just let me do that. That's the only feature I care about. I don't care about the rest of it. Don't do the prison architect thing. Don't be like, oh, we're gonna make it 3D. I don't care. Just let me tell a flight to get lost at any point. Let me or just let me switch the stand. Because look at this. I just sent that flight away and there's already another one coming in. All of these guys, the flights haven't even arrived yet. And I still can't switch them over because look how busy my airport is. It's ridiculous. It's so silly. It's such a silly feature. You know, I will say it has just hit me that I could have made these into medium remote stands and that probably would have made a lot more sense, but I've committed to the idea of having those small ones apparently, so this is what we're doing. I'm an idiot, man. I'm not a smart person. That's really disappointing. I should have done that. I should have probably done that. But would have been more money, but you know what? This is fine. This is totally fine. Connect you out to number 3. And then over here, we have these 2 sets that can go to number 4. And we have these 2 that can go to number 5. So now with that all done, we don't have service car stops connected, which is really unfortunate. So these 2 are going to connect to that service car stop. And then these 3 are going to connect to that service car stop. And then I think I can just grab all of these and open all of them, which is great. So that's sorted out. Now we just need to do the runways. So the runway thing is going to be relatively simple. We have enough money to do it, which is great. So let me get a medium runway. And the way I want to do this, we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So right there for a new medium runway. And I needed to start changing up my taxiways here as well. So these all need to go away. And then we need to go in here with some runway ramps. Now, the thing with the runway ramps is I would love to do this, but if I do this, I miss it doesn't work great with those larger aircraft, unfortunately. It would be great for the smaller ones. I could put it like here and then they can line up no problem, but the small aircraft aren't going to be using this runway. So what we're going to do is just use the standard runway ramp right about, say, here, and that'll be fine. That's how the medium aircraft are going to get on the runway. And that's how they're going to get off the runway. That's just how that's going to work. We're not going to be doing this business with small aircraft using it, so we don't need those middle connections. Once this is built, we need to go in and bulldoze this original runway, which is going to cause some problems because obviously people aren't going to be able to cross over to the new one. But then we're going to replace it with some new taxiways. We're going to put the small runway in here, and my hope of hopes is that this just works. That's what I'm looking for here, is a layout that just kind of works and is kind of more efficient. We can also go in and start putting the fences back around here because we do have animals that keep getting into the airport. So we'll get them up there. Down this way, we'll do exactly the same thing. Bring the fences down to about that spot. We'll bring them over to here and down that way, which should stop all the animals from getting in. And I think we do have builders up here working on the runway, which is great. I suppose this is a good opportunity to go through and get the taxiways sorted out as well. So all of this can be upgraded for quite a lot of money to, well, asphalt. And same thing over here. Quite a lot of money to do it, but that does look a lot better, which is great. We're going to say medium aircraft only, general aviation, no. We're going to open that runway. And that's a start. That's a start. That's sort of what I'm looking for. For this runway, I want to go in and close it, and I want to demolish it is what I want to do. And that's going to cause all sorts of problems because now none of my small aircraft can get out of here. And it's just generally bad. It's going to be really bad for business, but I have a plan. And I hope it works, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be really annoyed. And also, we're losing a lot of money while the airport's not running, so if they wouldn't mind hurrying up and bulldozing that runway, that would be hugely appreciated. Okay, so this is basically what I'm looking for. This is going to allow us to bring the small flights in on this runway. They can loop around, park here. They are sort of going to have to loop out in kind of a weird way to get onto this runway, so I'm kind of thinking what we might want to do is set this as one way. So they have to go that way. And then maybe we throw one of these guys in here. I think that's probably for the best to let these flights sort of do their thing. Unfortunately, I just don't know that this actually works. I don't think this actually lines up with that starting point there. So I think we will just have to go with this, which is completely fine. I'm okay with that. I don't really mind doing that. We'll set the taxiway up as well. And then we'll just set this as an entry point only. So these flights will have to loop around. And I think this guy at the minute is going to loop the entire way around this runway to get back to this point. But honestly, that's fine. I'm not really super worried about that. I'm also noticing that this seems to be too far to the right for it to be used. So I'm going to try and shuffle it along, I think, because I'd like this to be used. I think it'd be cool if they kind of come off the runway a little bit sooner. Maybe if we just kind of put it well, just a fair bit over to the left, it should be fine. This we are going to say is an entry only, because we don't want planes kind of doing anything silly there. And we'll say that this is also an entry only. So these two stands can loop around, and if it works the way I'm hoping it does, you're going to go this way, and then yeah, you'll enter the runway from that side, which seems great. A little bit of a problem down here, because that flight's decided it wants to go that way, which is a bit odd. Not really too sure what's going on with a lot of that, but I'm sure they will all figure out what's going on there in a moment. I think it's just me being weird with me changing things. This guy, I guess what we do is, let me see here. If I can see one of these flights, so if they slow down like there. So I think if I put this in this spot, they might be inclined to use it. Just right about, I'm going to try there, just so the bird strike system is in the middle of that grassy area. If that doesn't work, we'll move it to the left, but I just like them to exit the runway a bit sooner. If we can get them to do that, it means that theoretically they're not going to be interrupting the medium flights too much. But all things considered, I think this is, it is a lot more efficient than what we had before, which is great. We still have room for 200 flights, which is perfect. I would like to, I could swear that was higher. Build a larger air traffic control tower, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm imagining it was higher. I'm really not too sure. I'm fairly sure you can't stack air traffic control towers, but there's a part of me that's feeling like I've done that before. That might have been Sim Airport. I really don't remember. Oh, now this right here, this is what I was looking for. The plane just sort of gets off the runway a little sooner. Obviously it stops for the larger plane to go by, which is okay. This little guy lines up, takes off, does his thing. This is good. This is working exactly how I wanted it to. It also seems like things aren't really hugely delayed by the remote stands being a bit further out, which is fantastic news. This guy's waiting for this guy to pass as well, which we love to see. I like this. I do. I think we've got ourselves into a really good spot. I'm also realizing that what I could do here is set this as a one-way part. So any plane going to one of these stands does taxi to the end of the runway, whereas any plane going to one of these stands will get off the runway here, which I think makes a lot more sense. So this guy, for example, makes sense. He goes to the end of the runway. This guy is also going to the end of the runway. And then the next one coming through, I would assume, is going to come off here and go around to one of these stands. That's, I like that. I like that a lot. That's very cool. That's very, very cool. Now, one last thing I would like to do before we wrap up for today is take a look at my staff, because we have a shortage of ramp agents and we have a shortage of janitors. So let's go in here and get a few more of those. So the ramp agents, we only want to hire people that are good at the job. So we're not going to be hiring any of you, is what I'm saying. And for the janitors, same story, only going to hire people that are good at the job, and we're not going to be hiring you guys. Obviously, I could train them, and obviously we do kind of have enough money to get away with training them at this stage, but I'd like to try and avoid that. I'd like to make sure that we have enough of everybody and that they're actually good at what they do. And I've just remembered that there was another comment that I saw which mentioned adding trash cans to the terminals. I think I even went so far as to mention the fact that I needed to do this in, I don't know if it's a recent episode of 2 Point Museum, but I know that in an episode of 2 Point Museum, I mentioned the fact that I did need to do this. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trash cans in this area. We could probably do a bunch of them out here as well. So we'll go 1, you know what? I'm just going to do a whole bunch of them in here, just to try and tidy the place up a little bit, make life a little bit easier on my janitors, and make sure the place is nice and clean. So something like that seems fine. I'm not going to do one at the end there, because that would kind of awkwardly block that corridor. And then in here, we'll do one in that corner, which I think makes sense. We could do one in the bathroom. I guess that would be okay. We could do one maybe here. I think that's all right. It would be nice to get 1 or 2 into this entire space, but we really don't have room for it, so we're not going to worry too much about it. We could do a little trash can down in that corner as well. Maybe down in that corner. And then up here, we probably want to get one in that space. We'll get one in that corner as well. And that should be okay. I don't think we need to go too much further with trash cans in there. And then for the helicopter terminal, I don't imagine we would need trash cans in here. The people using the helicopters are fancy and considerate, and we'll do a few of them just to be safe, but that should be totally fine. And hopefully we have more candidates for ramp agents 1, 2, and 3. And I'm assuming the same for janitors 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hopefully that sorts out the issues. We now have a surplus of ramp agents. We do have a shortage of janitors, but we'll see if the trash cans help with that. And I guess that's gonna do us for today. I really like what we've managed to do here. I'm really happy with it. I hope you are as well. Either way, thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.